Hello and welcome back to the Pin Podcast. I'm your host, PinUp Miami, and here at the Pin Podcast, we bring you modern topics with a vintage flair. And I wanted to say, first off, thank you all for listening in. Last week, we had Judy Justice, and she was incredible. We got to learn about her community service, about her pinup club, and you guys got to learn a lot about me. I got a lot of texts and messages about you guys didn't know I was a mortician. So that was interesting that you guys learned that about me. And I just want to say, if you have any ideas or any comments, make sure to follow the podcast at Pin Podcast Official on Instagram or on my page, PinUp Miami. And you could also send a text or send a voicemail to 1-833-48-PINUP. Today, I have a very special guest. Her name is Tiffany. She's here from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. And she's in my studio, and I'm so glad to have you here. She's the marketing director of Think Thrift in Fort Lauderdale. And if you guys have seen some of my Facebook Lives with Rockabilly Key, you've seen me at her store. You've seen me try on stuff. You've seen me tag her. So here she is. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Can't wait. This is so fun. Yay.
So tell us about Think Thrift.
Okay, so Think Thrift is something that my dad started. This is a family business. And so his very first dip into the thrift industry was in the 80s. So I was born in the 80s. And so this has been something that I grew up doing and seeing, and even like running the cash register before I could even like see above the cash register. So just, I mean, it's just in my blood. It's always been something that I've loved and enjoyed. And so yeah, we got started back in the 80s, and then my dad kind of opened up a store late 80s, early 90s. And it's just kind of, we've had this store in Lauderdale Lakes since probably about like 20, 25 years.
Oh, the same location.
Yeah, same location.
Huge.
Yes. Yeah, it's like 15,000 square feet of just treasure upon treasure.
Yes, and that's why I love thrifting. Thrifting, you never know what you're going to find, because somebody's trash is somebody's treasure. For example, what I'm wearing, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. I got this house gown at Think Thrift, and it's just so glam. I love it.
It's so gorgeous on you. I love it. And the detail.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
And I love the sleeves. I'll try to show it here. Very big.
Yeah, and even like the little pearl button.
Yes.
I'm just loving that pearl button.
All the way up.
Yeah,
but
it's so cute.
I'm at home. I'm chilling. So what is your favorite thing about the thrift store growing up? Like, did you get to try on a lot of clothes? Were you able to find your style?
Yes, that's definitely something that I always enjoyed. Like I just loved walking down aisle upon aisle upon aisle. And I mean, for me, as a teenager, of course, you want to be stylish. You want to be like with, following all the fashion trends, which is really interesting because, whether it's like 70s style in fashion or then the 80s, now 90s style is super in fashion right now, which, you walk down these aisles and you can really find anything. It doesn't matter your size, your style, anything that's going on fashion-wise, you can find it. So that was one of the things.
Fashion time machine.
Yes, it really is. A fashion time machine. Exactly. That's such a great way to put it. And so definitely as a kid, I would just love walking down and just looking at all the different brands. Of course, like some people are super into brands and want to shop the brands, which then of course you can find all of that at affordable prices. But then also you can just find unique stuff that, if you go to like a big box place or whatever, the mall, different things, you're going to be only finding what they're selling. We're selling everything from A to Z, And
you never know what you're going to find.
It's so true. From day to day, it's different stuff every day because we put out so many new things every day that, from one day to, from 1 week to the next, you could find 25, 30,000 new things that weren't there last week. So it's pretty unique.
That's what I love. I always get asked a question because people see me at vintage shops versus thrift stores. And I always have to tell people the difference on what they are. So at a vintage shop, the owner only curates what that store wants to showcase. Yeah. For example, I've worked a lot with the House of Findings. They do a lot of eccentric high-end stuff. So of course it comes with a price because They tailor it, they clean it, to the point that it looks like perfectly new. And that's why the price difference in a thrift store, you're going, yes, it's clean, but it's not categorized. So you're hunting. It's literally the modern day hunting, right? No, treasure
hunting. Yes, for sure. And that's one of the things that, we try to categorize as much as we can, whether you're, if you want to walk in and find like a staple black cardigan, you can go and walk to the cardigans and they're, categorized.
When you have furs.
Oh, yes, we do. You know it. Yes, we do. Yeah. And even in different seasons, like even down here, it's mostly hot all the time, but we do try to stock, people are getting ready to start traveling, maybe go skiing or travel somewhere where it's cold. Of course, we're going to have those long sleeves or jackets or furs or different things that, or even as Halloween is coming up. Oh my gosh. Like Halloween Central, you know what I mean? Like you can find anything to style whatever you want for Halloween too. So
yeah.
cool.
I'm curious. Do a lot of people buy wedding dresses during Halloween, like for Halloween costumes?
Occasionally, yes. We do have those. We always have wedding dresses.
Yes, I always see them at the register and I'm just waiting for them to be my size because I'm going to snatch it.
Yes.
Because I've always wanted to do one of those like the bride from the Haunted Mansion at Disney World.
Yes.
Oh my God, what's her name? I forgot her name, but not Madame Leota, the wife, the bride. So I want to do that. And what else? What's the highest, like, what do people ask for the most? Is there like something now? You say 90s. Is there something specific people are looking for? Do you get asked? Or?
Well, a lot of times I feel like whatever is trendy, like, whatever the celebrities are wearing. Yeah, exactly. Whatever kids are seeing people wear, that's a lot of times what we're getting asked. But at the same time, we don't have, like, we're not like a cookie cutter place, so from one person to the next, they're looking for different things. A lot of like, whether it's like MTV or Nickelodeon, different like, just even like oversized t-shirts and stuff, like those are really
I'm seeing that in. Yes. And on TikTok.
Yes. Everywhere. And also people cropping stuff. Like stuff that I would never, like jackets. Like I mean,
jackets.
Yeah, even jackets. Like people are cropping jackets and even making like regular plain shirts. They're tie dyeing themselves and all different kinds of random things.
Or dresses out of bed sheets.
Yes, or dresses out of bed sheets if you're amazing and know how to sew. Yes, absolutely.
I made a Toy Story. She had a twin set of bed sheets that were Toy Story, and I made a Toy Story dress for one of my Facebook Lives at her shop. And I love how it came out. It looked like a cute little dress with poofy sleeves.
And even down to the shoes.
Yes, I hot glued the fabric on the shoes. I made a ribbon for the hat that I got at the thrift store. Everything was thrifted. Even used a miniskirt for the contrasting fabric.
Yes, the red, right?
Yeah, the red on the vest looking. I'll put a picture if you're watching on YouTube. But it was honestly a fun project to make. And it used a lot of fabric because I used a lot of ruffles. But it was a whole set for a twin. So I had enough for the whole outfit. And then I even made a purse, and I even got like the little buttons like cover, template,
right?
Yeah. And then I just hot glued earrings, so I just wore them as big earrings, and it was really fun. I had a lot of fun, and you liked it, so that was a plus.
I loved it, and I love the details. I mean, I'm not a very creative person myself, so to see somebody be like, oh yeah, these are bed sheets, I'm gonna make it into a dress.
Is that what you expected when I walked in the store?
Not at all. Not at all. But then remember, I like spotted those Tinkerbell sheets for you. So yes. I'm very excited to see because shoot, I definitely could not turn bed sheets into a dress. So
now I have bed sheets that you have picked out for me, and I love them. I have the Tinkerbell ones, these dinosaur ones that I love to make if I go when I go to Animal Kingdom when Disney gets a little better. I'm too scared to go to Disney right now. But I also got recently like the fish. I got a whole
the bright
set
aquarium,
yes.
right? Yeah.
So I know that one is a lot of fabric, so I want to do something elaborate with that as well.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
More fun DIY thrifted projects. That's
yes.
what's just so unique, because you've got creatives that walk in the store and they're seeing our store from a very different set of eyes than maybe someone like me. Black shirt. like green pants, so, but you've got
Well, I'm
so
sure a
many
lot of
different
people would
things.
walk by this dress that I'm wearing and be like, oh, that looks like an old lady dress. But for me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to wear that for the house.
Yes.
Or put a belt and wear it out because you can.
Yep.
Or the caftans I've got in there. And I've been lucky because when I do my Tiki Tuesday videos, I use a green screen. So a lot of Tiki dresses have green in them. So I can't really wear them against a green screen. But I've been lucky to find caftans at her shop that don't have green in them.
Yes. We do our best.
She knows.
Yes.
So is there anything that you've ever gotten at your store that just was like, wow?
Oh my gosh, so many things. I think it's, oh my God, I'm trying to think of I guess the most recent thing that I was seeing, even somebody else find this past week, she picked out a Michael Kors little rectangle bag. It didn't have like straps or anything, but it was just kind of like a cute little purse. Michael Kors. I mean, it was brand new, like $12. That was like, oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Like this really pretty, it wasn't rattan, but it looked like that. And there was like another one she found that was Betsy Johnson, still had the price tags on it.
Oh.
Like this gorgeous, like bright pink. Oh my gosh. I loved that. And I love like Banana Republic dresses, just like a simple dress. And yeah, so I always look for those just like simple dresses and things like that. But also we've even found like people just never cease to amaze me because like you said earlier, like one person's trash is the next person's treasure that they're just like waiting for, and I love our shoes. Our shoes are amazing. I know that you've found some cool shoes, right? So, I mean, I have really small feet. I have size 5 shoes, but I can always find stuff there too, which I can't always at the store.
And it's great. And you also have a lot of toys because I've even gotten toys there.
Yes. This little tiger.
I have a tiger here at the studio. Yes, I have to get batteries, but he moves around. Reminds me of a Carol Baskin from Tiger King.
Yes.
And I did do a funny TikTok video. If you guys follow me on TikTok at PinUp Miami, you'll notice that they're on there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah, you guys have a great variety because, for example, I'm sure you guys get, right next door you have a Goodwill, but the difference between you and a Goodwill, what I noticed, it's very spacious and like it's categorized by purpose.
Very true.
So
yeah, that's one of the things being a family business. And, like you said, we're not like the Goodwill that's all over the place. And we have to, really set ourselves apart and do something different. So quality is super important to us. You're not going to find a lot of things with stains. I mean, of course, maybe we'll miss something occasionally, but we try to categorize, keep things organized. And, the quantity also, like our store is pretty big. And
how many pieces do you have in there?
Oh, there's anywhere like normally at least 60,000 pieces out. Oof. Like that's something that, we're looking to put that out. My goodness, probably 20 to 25 new things out every week. So, I mean, and that's anything from purses to shoes, linens, and then like little tchotchke, bric-a-brac type stuff. And then, of course, the clothes and belts and all that kind of stuff, too. So.
And I also got my heat rollers there. My hot rollers.
That's right.
I'm just trying to remember. And my curling iron is from there. See, you can get everything.
Yes, you really can.
Yes.
That's so true.
And you have the back room. I've seen the back room, and it's full of stuff. How do you organize that? So when you get items that people donate, how do you categorize, or you look at them first and decide you could put it out in the store, you cannot, or?
Yeah, so we just have a wonderful team. Our store is run by 2 fantastic managers. Shout out to Gilda and Diana. You guys are the best. And then our whole team is just fantastic. A lot of people that have just been there for years. I mean, I've known our managers since I was a kid, and we've just become like such a family. So they do all of that back end stuff, that the behind the scenes things that just makes everything run like a well-oiled machine. But to be able to really be able to take the items in and then sort through it, because that's a lot of it is just being able to sort things into men's and women's and kids' clothing, and then, shoes, and just kind of also maybe things, some stuff is not even in the same bag. So then to sort through the shoes and match up all those things, obviously it's time consuming, but
I didn't think about that. Matching the shoes up.
Yes. Or even like the 2-piece, like, whatever, like a blazer and pants or whatever, that kind of thing. So we're always trying to
3-piece suits. You don't think about that stuff. People just put it in a bag and just give it to you, and then You got to put it all together.
It's true. Yeah. And then even like the toys come in, it's funny because when I donate stuff, like I think like I'll put like all the Legos in like a Publix bag or something and like close it up real tight because I'm thinking like on the other end of it, like then it all stays together, or just trying to make sure the shoes all land in the same bag or whatever, because, then it really does reduce the amount of waste that ends up getting, thrown out and stuff like that. So that's always good too.
That reminds me of people at restaurants, because at restaurants, I mean, I've never been a waitress, but I clean my own dinner table. So it's, I always see people that leave messes, and I'm here like, no, let me just put it all in a pile. And because and then on TikTok, I see people that used to be housekeepers that write on how, you could help your housekeeper when you stay at a resort by taking off the bed sheets, organizing the towel, just little things that will make other people's lives
a little bit easier.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long. So that's interesting how in every different place it's, I'm sure anybody that works at retail, like when I was in college, I worked at Toys R Us, and people would put stuff everywhere in the store, and then you got to go at the end of the day and walk through and make sure everything's lined up and that you got the baby stuff out of the action figure place. So it's like...
It is. It's crazy. Because, of
that must be harder to thrift store.
It is. It definitely is. And we have a wonderful girls that work on, in every different area of the store. And of course, I'm sure you can imagine, like with the fitting room and stuff like that, which we have 3 fitting rooms, and just to try to make it where people can actually try on before they want to make their decision to buy or not. But of course, not everybody hangs their stuff up, and then it's, so if we're having, but of course that's just all part, right? No, but it's just all part of, all part of what we have to do, which is not a problem. It's just a matter of making it the best experience for our customers that we can. But yes, of course, like with anything, things don't always get put back where they came from. So, but we're just like, whatever, just kind of go, and at least it's well organized, and then we can kind of go and fit it back where it's supposed to be. So. Yeah.
What tips would you give to shoppers at your store? Like, I know I have a viewer, Shannon, that she wanted to know when's the best time to go shopping at your store, because some stores have like I know some stores say, oh, Monday we put out new inventory, or this day. Do you guys have a date for that? Or
well, it just depends on your shopping style, I guess. Like typically I have 2 different shoppers. You've got the person that is more like me that would say, okay, like when I'm going shopping, I'm going to go and I'm willing to spend like a few hours there and just enjoy myself, like that retail therapy. Like I'm just going to, go through and look at all the stuff. And to that, I would say give yourself time, because really, if you want to be able to find that, that diamond in the rough thing that is really unique, definitely give yourself time. And that's really just kind of be on any day. There's not, since we're putting out so many new things, like we're doing that every single day of the week.
Okay, that's good.
It's really, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, from one Monday to the next Monday, you're going to have, upwards of 25 to 30,000 new items throughout the store every week. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. So, I mean, you are going to find some of the same things, but at the same time, you are going to be able to touch and feel and find new things too. But then if you have someone that's a little less patient, I would say maybe just a more of a like, this is what I'm looking for and I want to come in, conquer it and get it. I would say try to come in the morning. I mean, since we're starting to put out things, we're starting first thing in the morning. You're going to be able to just, find the freshest, newest stuff of that day. We open most days at 9. We are open most Mondays starting at 7. Like we'll run a really great 99-cent sale on Monday mornings, or then we'll start putting out new stuff too. So, but then otherwise we open at 9 every day and close at 7. And then Sundays are open 11 to 5. So, I mean, it's just like a different vibe on the weekend. Sometimes we're a little bit more busy, different days than others, but really, I love to go in the morning just in general, because then I'm like, it's fresh. The store just opened. And so that's personally my favorite time to go. But yeah, so Shannon, check us out in the morning.
Yes. Or go with me. Go with me because you're here.
Yes, that's true.
And when I do my Facebook Lives, I like to go early because I myself like to look around. And then after I shoot the Facebook Live, I keep looking around.
I know. I love that.
And then I find stuff like this. So
just never know what you're going to find.
I love it. And what other tips do you have for anyone shopping, thrifting?
I would say...
Bring comfy shoes.
Yes.
Get on your knees.
Bring water. Bring water. I know that sounds kind of silly, but
I would have never thought.
Yes, bring water, because one of the things that comfy shoes, yes, but also just bring water, because I feel like, or maybe even a snack. I know that sounds silly.
Oh my God, Vivian brought a snack.
Yeah, Vivian is a genius. Vivian, you're the best. But I know that might sound silly, but if you just want to come and relax and enjoy yourself, which that's how I prefer to just enjoy our store. But like if you start to get thirsty and hungry, you're just gonna be grumpy. I don't know. That's me. Like,
or you're gonna rush everything.
Or you're gonna rush, right?
That's so true, because when we were looking at the dresses, I after the last live, I was looking and Vivian had a snack, and then I swear I saw everything in the rack, but she ended up finding the leopard caftan that I wore in the last podcast.
Yes.
And I was like, of course, because she's well nourished. Now I know. That's the trick.
Yes. Hey, if you get dehydrated, you can't think properly and you are not on your game to thrift.
I was just thinking about going. Let's leave. We're done.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think probably some of the things that, maybe people miss is, like, to really kind of go and walk the store. Like, even though it's big and you might not want anything from the men's department or the kids department, sometimes maybe something's not like, like you said, maybe somebody didn't put something back where you thought it was going to be or whatever. But there's also stuff on the top of the clothing racks as well. Yes. So you can find cute little purses or picnic baskets, decorative pillows, so many different things that if you don't walk up and down the aisles, you're really not going to find.
And ladies, some of these picnic baskets you could use as purses. I have one. She could see it here. I have it up in a shelf. But you could use them as purses for car shows, or if you're a mom, you could put like your kids' snacks in there, and it's big enough and stylish enough by putting a little scarf that you could also get at a thrift. And there you go. You get a look that also is usable.
It's very true. Yeah, because that's one of the things that, with thrifting, it's so... You can make, like you said, a picnic basket into a purse. I've had a couple of girls come in and be like, oh my gosh, I love the shape of this. It's so cute, but it's small. And then, it's versatile.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when I took a friend there for her birthday, and she got a Louis Vuitton purse there.
Yes. So you just never know what you're going to find. And that's the thing, like, whether you're looking for a purse that's for a night out or something that's a little more functional for the beach, like those are the things that we always have. You know what I mean? We get tons of those things in the store. And so we have, and then you're going to find tons of different colors and options and different things that would match your style. So,
yeah. So why should people thrift? Why should people go to your store and thrift?
Well, I think that, we very much appreciate the support of people that are all about local businesses. We're a family-run business, so we're, you're more like mom and pop store as opposed to maybe like a Goodwill or Salvation. So, that's one of the things that we really appreciate, that local support of people that are, our loyal customers that just come out, try us out, and they're like, oh my gosh, we love your store. It's huge, and I can always find something here. And the
staff is great. I forgot his name, the security guard.
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew's
really
awesome.
Sweet. Yes, he's great. He's great. And it's, you kind of like get to know the people that you're whether it's the person at the cash register or the sweet lady that's opening the dressing room for you, or, we just have so many wonderful people that really are, it's like a big family there. So that's one thing. And, one of the other things I think you were asking, like, why should you thrift? I think that people that care about, the environment and, reducing their carbon footprint, that's one of the things that sustainability is big, and it's kind of become a little bit of a trendy thing, but there's a lot of merit to it as well. Because if you think about the thousands of gallons of water that it takes to make a pair of jeans or, even a shirt or something like that, if you're able to take something out of the fast fashion industry and then go and buy it at a thrift store, you're reducing. We're not necessarily completely saving the earth just by thrifting. I'm not trying to overstate it, but really it is a way to reduce the waste that's going on. I mean, 85% of textiles, roughly in the general area of that, end up in landfills. So, I mean, if we're able to, do some part in helping the environment and reducing waste, it's certainly something that's important to us. And we're hoping is important for the general population too, because it also is great for your pocket.
Yeah.
So, that's something that, especially now with, I mean, nowadays there's, where we've been in, lockdown, shutdown, quarantine for months now. So, there's been a lot of people that have been negatively affected, whether they've lost their jobs or different things like that. And certainly thrifting is a way to be able to look great at an affordable, on a budget. So
feel like you have a new wardrobe without hurting your pocket.
Exactly. Without it completely wiping out your bank account. Definitely.
And I love thrifting for that same reason, because some fast fashion, it's just like, I've never been in, well, I have been into it a long time ago, but now I'm not into it, and it's always changing. I see people buying it, or like the Forever 21 ads, and when you go to the store, you feel the fabrics and you feel the material, and you could tell that's only going to last 2 washes, and then it's going to go in the landfill. So you might as well buy something at probably a fraction of the cost and make it your own. And then and like you said, it is trendy to say it's vintage, because like you said, the MTV shirts, and I have seen the crop top shirts, and people are wearing them, and it's very 90s, and I'm waiting for Backstreet Boys shirt to come back.
Yes, I know.
If you said Backstreet Boy won't give it to me.
Yes, I will definitely be on the lookout. But we might have to fight
for concert. That was
Yes.
my first concert ever. My boyfriend Tim, he showed me a documentary on YouTube, the boy band con. I know I'm digressing. The boy band con. And it was very interesting, because I was small when everything happened with the boy bands. But apparently that documentary, it shows you the guy that put the bands together, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, that he did it on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, I watched that documentary. It was pretty interesting. It's Lance from NSYNC,
right,
was one of the producers and heading that project.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah, and he was the reason why a lot of these boy bands started, and the OG is Backstreet Boys, but he wanted competition, so he created his own competition. Yeah, it's crazy. Watch it. It's called The Boy Band Con on YouTube. It's free.
Interesting. Okay, that's really cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, but I love thrifting, and like if you guys see me at the store and anywhere, I love vintage, and I always tell people when they go shopping with me for anything vintage or thrifty, if you like it, buy it, because it's going to be gone. Somebody else will get it. So you never know.
I have seen that happen so many times. Being at the cash register, I'll have people they'll come up and, maybe they're like, oh, I didn't really want to spend that much. And they're like, okay, I'm going to leave this here. And then they'll come back 45 minutes later, but it's already, been put back. And they're like, I can't find it. And I'm like, oh, wait, are you talking about that? Oh, yeah, it got sold. Yes, it's gone. And it has happened so many times, really, because like you said, if you're loving it, chances are somebody else is probably going to be like, oh, this is great too, Like
this TV that I have here, I got it at a vintage shop on their Instagram, and I got it right away because I knew somebody else was going to have it.
Right.
So stuff like that. Like, you just have to grab it, and, unless you can't afford it. But
that's true.
Besides that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's always sales going on too, which is crazy because even you're going to find stuff without tags, obviously, without brand new tags. But I mean, you're going to find everything from designer stuff, Diane von Furstenberg. I mean, stuff that's like $2,500, literally still with the tags on it. And how did somebody not wear this? How did you not enjoy this? You spent that kind of money on it, But I mean, it's crazy because then maybe you're going to get it for $20 or 15 or whatever. And then we're also running 50% off sales every day. And then, something that was 20, now you're getting it for 10 or 10 for 5 or whatever. So there's always really great options for, maybe
for everyone.
Hold off. Yeah, exactly. And if you're not really, like you said, maybe it's not, you don't want to spend a lot that day, you could leave it behind and maybe get it the next week. But there's tons of different options and always sales going on. So maybe there's another black shirt or another pink shirt that you like. Just keep looking and maybe it'll be on sale.
Yes, and a lot of people also, something else, if you're looking for a side hustle, a lot of people buy from thrift stores and sell on eBay. Again, it's also that mentality of the vintage shops. You're finding these pieces and curating it in one spot to make it easier for people, and you do all the hunting yourself. So that's a tip, because I've seen people do it and they're successful. I haven't figured out that knack, but
yeah,
but people do it.
Like, it's crazy with Depop and Poshmark. There's tons of places
I buy
now.
on Poshmark.
Yes, tons of places, and I mean ThreadUp too. I don't know, actually,
I haven't used ThreadUp,
but there's tons of different options, and I mean, like whether it's Lululemon or Boohoo, there's tons of different brands that I know that are very popular and also such great quality. You know, so the stuff that is maybe it's like an $80 or $90 pair of leggings, like Lululemon or whatever leggings that. You know, like not everybody can spend that kind of money
like in
on
the pinup
stuff.
world, we have there's a brand called Pinup Girl Clothing or Voodoo Vixen or Michelin Pit. Like their dresses are between $150 up. So I've gotten some on Poshmark for less than $100.
Yes.
So it's not the cheapest, but it's cheaper than buying it from their websites. So that's an alternative.
It's very true.
All right.
Always fun to find stuff. It's the treasure hunt.
Such a pleasure to have you on the podcast. If you guys want to follow, if you're in South Florida, make sure you go to Think Thrift. Tell them that the girl with the yellow hair sent you.
Yes. Yes. We know you. Yes. We definitely know you.
I love when I walk in and somebody says, hey, there was somebody that said that they came because of the girl with the yellow hair. I'm like, yes. Then follow them on Instagram at Think Thrift Store. There's an underscore between each, or just search it. You'll still be able to find it. Yep. Their Facebook is Think Thrift, or their website is thinkthriftstore.com. And do you have anything else you'd like to share with the pinned audience today?
Oh, this is so fun. Thank you for having me. This is so great. I love you. I love your style. And you are just such a gift to the world.
Thank
you are so kind and have such a beautiful heart. And this was so much fun. Thank you for having me. Yeah, just check us out.
She's out
of
her bubble,
media.
guys. So show her some love. Yes. Follow her on Instagram. Say, hey, Tiffany. You know, she's definitely the marketing director.
Thank you. And if you're local, I mean, DM us on Instagram. I'd be happy to meet up with you, hook you up with some stuff. Would always love to meet new people. We are definitely so appreciative of our customers, our loyal customers, people that come out and just find that they love our store. So it's always exciting and fun. And yeah, come with Jen if you want.
Yes, hit me up. I'll go with you if you're here. All right, guys, that's it for this week. But next week, I have Kayla from So Magical. It's a convention that's going to happen the first weekend of October in Orlando. And I'm going to be at 2 classes. Well, I'm going to be teaching a hands-on class on how to make a circle skirt. And I'm going to be speaking at a seminar about thrifting for Dapper Day. So if you're interested in any of those 2 topics or about the convention, I'll also put the link in the description. But we'll talk to her next week. So if you have any questions for her, let me know. And have a wonderful day. Bye.